All right, everyone. Mark here, Dev lead for the Angular team here at Google, and what a moment we've arrived upon. The team has put considerable effort into making Angular into the best framework that it can be for Angular developers everywhere. Now, there are teams all over the world building Angular applications of all sizes. Whether it be teams using Angular with their preferred mobile app solution to build exciting app experiences, or developers building large, scalable apps to serve their vast and growing customer base, Angular is doing its best to meet their needs. Even here at Google, Angular powers important applications like Google Cloud, Firebase, and the Gemini web app. These teams choose Angular because of the core tenets the framework provides. You see, developers need stability, scalability, and ergonomic APIs to meet the demands of today's users. But there's actually a new need that's emerged and has turned out to be quite important, really vital to the way that we now work. Everybody's favorite acronym, AI. Since the launch of angular.dev/AI, we've worked to meaningfully integrate AI into Angular to provide you with a great experience with agentic workflows. And today, the team's going to share some great updates as some of your favorite APIs are graduating. We have exciting advancements to our templating story, and we can't wait to talk more about our expanded AI offering. We believe our work over the last few years have led to this moment. You see, today, Angular takes its place as the rock-solid foundation for building what's next on the web. All right, now that we have the context for our time together, let's get to the fun part, chatting about new features in Angular. Our first guest is here to tell you what you need to know about how we've improved templates to make creating new UIs even better. Devin, over to you.
Devin here from the Angular team. We're back with some great updates from Angular v22, and I'm excited to share what's new in Angular components and templates. Control flow in Angular saw a major revamp a few versions back, and everyone loved it. But we aren't done just yet. Check out the latest updates to switch. If you've ever had more than one condition match the same case in a switch block, you know how boilerplate starts to pile up. Who needs those extra lines in your templates? Not me, which is why we've added support for multiple switch case matching. Templates now also support exhaustive switch checks for union types, ensuring you never miss a case. Just add the default never case to the end of your switch block, and the compiler will throw an error letting you know if you've missed any cases. For example, consider this union type, which has 3 distinct possibilities. Oh no! It looks like we missed the viewer role in this switch block. Not to worry. The Angular compiler's got you covered. With default never, it'll throw an error so that you can fix it. Every developer has their own opinion about calling a function in a template. For quick functions, it's fine. But what about writing a function in the template? Sometimes you just need to write a quick click handler or update a signal. Well, now you can. Arrow functions are now available in templates. This syntax is designed for small functions. Your lengthy logic still belongs in the component class. There are also some improvements coming to host directives, as Angular now deduplicates host directives that match multiple times on the same element. And if a directive matches both through the template and as a host directive, the template match will win. Input-output maps of host directives are now merged, so you don't have to worry about paths wiping each other out in the event a directive gets pulled in from 2 different internal paths. And finally, if an input-output is exposed under multiple names, you'll now get an error. Okay, before I go, here are a few more neat features now available to Angular developers. We've added support for spread operators and REST arguments directly in template expressions. Nested leave animations are now scoped to component boundaries. In other words, nested leave animations will animate away before the parent is removed, though this is limited to within component boundaries, so child component animations won't fire. We've added support for comments in templates, and you can even toggle comments in VS Code. Angular v22 is updating how template optional chaining works to match modern web standards. Instead of returning null, these chains will now return undefined, just like regular JavaScript and TypeScript. To make this transition easier, the ng-update command includes an automated migration. It wraps your existing expressions in a safe navigation migration marker, which keeps the old null behavior for now, so your app stays running while you switch to the new standard at your own pace. Navigating templates is now a breeze with document symbol support. Your IDE can now show you breadcrumbs and a full outline of your template structure. And finally, here's a sneak peek at something very cool coming in Q3 of 2026. We're planning to introduce an exciting new feature in Developer Preview. Meet Boundary, our new API for implementing error boundaries in Angular templates. Imagine for a moment that a user is completing a critical task in your app, and then one of your components crashes. That's not good. And the user may be faced with a blank screen, which is common for crash change detection cycles. The boundary template syntax aims to fix this. You can wrap parts of your template in a boundary block to prevent one of the component's failures from disrupting the rest of the page. Kind of like a quarantine for your application. And you can even provide a fallback UI in the event of errors. This developer and user experience improvement can open the door to even more new features like retry logic. As I mentioned, the new Boundary API Developer Preview is planned for Q3 of this year, so stay tuned for updates. We hope that you enjoy these updates to Angular templates and components. Be sure to head over to angular.dev to see all the latest new ways to build with the latest version of Angular.
Angular templates just keep getting better and better, and I love to see these updates. Thanks so much, Devin. Now let's continue with more news about how the Angular API surface has improved to support your solid foundation for building what's next on the web. Let's check in with Jessica.
Hey there, I'm Name, and I have several exciting v22 API updates to share with you. Was I supposed to say my name? But it says name in the script. We have updates to our reactivity story, Angular Aria, and our new service API, and more quality of life features. There's a lot to cover, so let's dive right in. We reshaped the data flow in Angular with our Signals API release. Then, we decided to tackle asynchronous data with Signals because managing async data has been more complex than we'd prefer. We knew we could make the developer experience much better. So we introduced the Resource API, and you folks loved it, but it's been experimental this whole time. We're excited to move our Resource APIs to stable. That means that one person on Reddit won't explode. Glad we could save you from that, Reddit person. Whether it's resource, RX resource, or HTTP resource, fetching data with Signals is now the recommended way to build. And some even more exciting news! Signal Forms are our composable, reactive form solution that takes the best parts of reactive forms and template-driven forms and combines them with the reactivity of Signals. In the latest release of Angular, they are stable and ready for production. In making the move to stable, we've done quite a few things. We added a full set of docs, fixed a lot of bugs, and completed compatibility with Angular Aria and Material. Here's another nice feature we've added, Signal Form Control, to bridge the gap with your existing reactive forms. There's also native signal debouncing. Wait, no throttling? Don't we usually do debouncing and throttling together? That's like a norm. Signal Forms are ready for you to use in production starting now. Enjoy, or don't. I'm not a cop. Angular has always been an opinionated framework, and developers have come to trust those opinions. In v22, we're expanding those opinions. Why? Into more helpful defaults for your applications. The first of these is onPush. The onPush change detection strategy is now the default in Angular components. This means that new components will automatically have the change detection strategy.onPush. And now for existing projects that want to update their components, we're shipping a new migration. It adds change detection strategy.eager on existing components using the default and moves your existing inputs to Signals. This update helps make applications ready to take advantage of the benefits of zoneless, as well as helps to clarify the mental model of the change detection modes. Along with these new defaults, we've added a few more. Fetch is used as the backend by default instead of XHR. Strict template checking is enabled by default, and because of TypeScript 6.0, strict TypeScript is on by default. Let us know what you think of these changes. We'd love to hear your feedback. In v21, we announced Angular Aria in Developer Preview to provide you with headless components built with accessibility as a priority that you can style in your own way. And in v22, Angular Aria will be unstable. Wait, is that a typo? And in v22, Angular Aria will be stable. Here are some of the updates we've made. APIs have been stabilized, many community issues have been addressed, signal forms are fully supported, and testing harnesses are now available. Our set of UI accessible patterns are ready for you to use in your apps with confidence. We've injected a brand new decorator as a service to you all. We've introduced the new @service decorator, a specialized, expressive way to define your services, making your intent clear and your architecture even more robust. You can find out about this feature and more on the official Angular release blog, as well as angular.dev. Now do us an @service and go try this out. Live long and prosper. And cut.
Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Mark.
Good job!
Thanks. Thanks for thinking of me this time.
You know what? You're the best. Friends, she's amazing. See ya. She's so awesome. And I didn't even have to get turned into a cartoon character to admit it. Thanks, Jessica. AI has become an exciting new collaborator in the developer process, and we have some really cool updates to share, and I was so excited that I had to deliver them myself. So here's what I have to say about Angular's AI story. Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood Mark here with a few updates on the Angular AI story. Now back at I/O 2025, we launched angular.dev/AI to bring Angular into the AI era, and since then, we've made some great progress on some features specifically designed to improve agent workflows. First up, Angular MCP. Now, our MCP server had helpful tools like the ability to search Angular documentation for code samples, query the project for information, the awesome AI tutor, and more. Now, these tools are great and all, but agentic development continues to gain in popularity and momentum. So we wanted to ensure that Angular MCP is meeting the demands of modern developers. So we introduced some great tools to give agents control over the dev server and a few other goodies. Angular MCP now features commands for building an app, starting and stopping the dev server, as well as being able to wait for the build. Now your agentic environments have access to the tools needed for better workflows. Another area that we're thrilled to be making progress on are the new agent skills. Agent skills create a standardized way to give AI agents new capabilities and expertise. So in Angular, we can use agent skills to help bridge the gap between the training data and the growing API surface. GitHub.com/Angular/skills is the new official home for Angular skills. We soft launched our skills in Q2 to give the Angular community a chance to try them out and let us know what they think. Since then, we've received so many helpful PRs and some great feedback. Huge shout out to the Angular community for helping us to refine the skills. So we have 2 official skills available for use today. First, there's the Angular developer skill that was built with the intention of compiling the critical best practices and guidelines necessary for writing modern Angular applications. Now, it covers new features that models may not have training on, such as Angular Aria and signal forms. Now, the skill is using progressive disclosure, so it's only loading the necessary parts at the right time. The skill file itself is less than 140 lines long and features code samples and reference files for your agentic tooling to use where needed. Now, for developers that are interested in trying out Angular for the first time in an agentic environment, we also have the Angular new app skill that helps agents to get your environment ready for Angular coding. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to contribute to Angular but needed some help? Well, we also have a few helpful contributor skills too, so be sure to check those out. Now, if you're someone who likes vibe coding apps, Angular has great support in Google AI Studio and Gemini Canvas. You see, we want Angular to be available for people building apps in the agentic era, whether they do it from an IDE or from a web browser. If you are building great apps, you are welcomed here. Be sure to head over to angular.dev/AI for the latest in Angular AI, and be sure to check out Angular MCP and those new Angular skills. Can't wait to see what you create. And there you have it. From our latest AI updates, the graduation of signal forms, Angular Aria, asynchronous signals to stable status, to the fantastic new advancements in our templating story, Angular continues to provide a solid foundation for developers who want to build what's next for the web. Now, I want to give a massive thank you and shout out to the team and to you, the incredible community, for helping us to reach this milestone. We cannot wait to see what you built with Angular version 22. So for more information, check out the official blog, as well as head over to angular.dev to get started with all the new features that we just shared today. For Jessica and Devin, I'm your host, Mark, and we'll see you in the next one. And until then, get out there and build what's next for the web.